Let me ask you something. You love your rabbit, right? You fill their bowl, you clean their cage, you maybe even talk to them when no one's watching. You think you're doing everything right. But what if I told you that some of the things you do every single day, things that feel totally normal, even kind, are actually hurting your rabbit? I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I'm saying it because most rabbit owners, including people who have had bunnies for years, are making the same mistakes over and over again. Not out of laziness, not out of not caring, but because rabbits are wildly misunderstood animals and the advice out there is honestly terrible. So today, we're going through the things rabbit owners get wrong every day, and more importantly, what you should be doing instead. Stick around because some of these might genuinely surprise you. Mistake number one, the carrot myth. Let's start with the most classic one because it's probably the most widespread rabbit myth in history: carrots. We grew up watching Bugs Bunny chomping on carrots like they were rabbit candy. And so we hand our bunnies a carrot every day, thinking we're giving them a little treat, a little love, a little something special. Here's the problem: carrots are loaded with sugar, and a rabbit's digestive system is not built to handle that kind of sugar load on a daily basis. Think of it this way: giving your rabbit a carrot every day is basically the same as giving a child a chocolate bar every day. The rabbit enjoys it, sure, but over time it causes real harm. If you're going to give carrots at all, keep it to a tiny piece, roughly the size of a coin, and only occasionally. The same goes for most fruits. They're sweet, they're appealing, but they're low in fiber and high in sugar, and your rabbit's gut simply isn't designed for them in large quantities. Mistake number two, not enough hay. This is the big one, the one that affects rabbit health more than almost anything else, and the one most owners get completely backwards. A rabbit's digestive system is designed to process high fiber forage without constant access to grass hay, like Timothy or orchard grass. Rabbits face two genuinely life threatening problems. The first is GI stasis, a condition where the gut stops moving entirely. It is a medical emergency, and it can kill a rabbit within hours if left untreated. The second is dental overgrowth. Rabbit teeth never stop growing. The only natural way to keep them worn down is the constant grinding motion that comes from chewing hay. Without it, teeth grow into painful and dangerous shapes that make it impossible for the rabbit to eat properly. 80% of your rabbit's daily intake should be fresh, high-quality hay. Pellet should be limited, roughly a quarter cup per 6 pounds of body weight. Most owners have it completely backwards. They fill a bowl with pellets and throw in a small handful of hay as an afterthought. It needs to be the total opposite. Hay is not a side dish. Hay is the entire meal. Mistake number three, the cage is way too small. Walk into almost any pet store and look at the cages marketed for rabbits. They look reasonable, right? Compact, colorful, comes with a little water bottle and a food dish. Those cages are almost always too small. Rabbits are active, athletic animals. They need space to run, to stretch fully, to stand on their hind legs without hitting a ceiling. A rabbit that appears content in a tiny cage is not actually content. That stillness is stress, not peace. Rabbits kept in confined spaces often become aggressive and destructive over time because they have no outlet for their natural energy and instincts. The enclosure itself should be at least 4 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet, and beyond that, your rabbit needs a minimum of 4 to 6 hours of free roaming every single day in a safe, supervised space. Baby gates work perfectly to section off a rabbit's safe area. The point is that they need to move, and they need to move a lot. Mistake number four, picking them up too often in the wrong way. I know. They're adorable. You want to hold them. You want to cuddle them. But here's something a lot of rabbit owners genuinely do not realize. Most rabbits hate being picked up. Rabbits are ground-dwelling prey animals. In the wild, the only time a rabbit gets lifted off the ground is when a predator has caught it. So when you scoop your bunny up, no matter how gently, their nervous system fires off a panic response. To them, in that moment, they are being eaten. On top of the emotional stress, there's a serious physical danger here too. Rabbits have fragile skeletons, and their back legs are incredibly powerful. If they kick while being held incorrectly, the force of that kick can fracture their own spine. It happens more often than people think, and it is devastating. The fix is to get on the floor with them. Let the bunny come to you. Build trust on their terms and at their pace. A rabbit that walks over and chooses to sit next to you is 1,000 times happier than one that's being held against its will. Mistake number 5, giving your rabbit a bath. This one shocks people every single time. And yet it is happening in households everywhere, usually with the best intentions. Do not bathe your rabbit. Do not submerge them in water for any reason. Rabbits are naturally clean animals. They groom themselves constantly, much like cats, and they are very good at it. Bathing them is not just unnecessary, it is genuinely harmful. The process causes extreme panic and stress. Their fur takes a very long time to dry, which prevents them from regulating their body temperature properly and can lead to hypothermia. And the water strips their skin of its natural protective oils, leaving them vulnerable to skin irritations and fungal infections. If your rabbit is unable to clean themselves properly, that is not a grooming problem. That is a medical problem, and they need to see a vet. For small dirty patches, a warm damp cloth for a gentle spot clean is all you ever need. Mistake number 6, ignoring their social needs. This one is heartbreaking because it almost always comes from simply not knowing. Rabbits are deeply social animals. In the wild, they live in pairs and small groups. Isolation is not peaceful or natural for them. It causes genuine psychological distress. A lonely rabbit becomes a stressed rabbit, and a stressed rabbit gets sick far more often. Signs of loneliness in rabbits include lethargy, loss of appetite, overgrooming, and destructive behavior. All things owners often dismiss as the rabbit just being a rabbit. If you have a single rabbit without a bonded companion, they need meaningful time and interaction with you every single day. Let them be in the room with you. Let them explore while you work or watch television. The goal is to treat them as a true companion animal, not a decorative pet that lives in a corner. The more time they spend outside their enclosure with you, the better their mental and physical health will be. Mistake number 7, using the wrong litter. This is a quick one, but it matters enormously and is very easy to fix. Clumping cat litter is toxic to rabbits. Cedar and pine shavings are also toxic. They release aromatic oils that damage a rabbit's sensitive respiratory system over time. Many of the litters sold specifically for small animals in pet stores are still not safe for rabbits. The safest options are unscented paper-based pellet litter or shredded paper bedding. That is it. Go check your litter box right now, and if it is anything scented, clumping, or wood-based, replace it today. Mistake number 8, skipping the exotic vet. Most people do not even know this is a category of vet. You get a rabbit, you assume your regular vet can handle it, and you move on. That is a problem. General practice vets specialize in cats and dogs. They may mean well, but they may miss the early signs of GI stasis, dental disease, or other rabbit-specific conditions that an exotic animal specialist would catch immediately. Finding a rabbit-savvy exotic vet in your area is one of the most important things you can do for your bunny's long-term health. And if you have a female rabbit who has not been spayed, please do this. Unspayed female rabbits have roughly an 80% chance of developing uterine cancer by the time they reach 4 years old. That is not a small risk. That is almost a certainty. Spaying is not optional. It is one of the single most impactful decisions you can make for your rabbit's life. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. Almost every mistake on this list comes from a lack of information, not a lack of love. Nobody decided to hurt their rabbit. They just didn't know. Because rabbits are still so deeply misunderstood as pets, and the mainstream advice that gets passed around is often dangerously outdated. But now you know, and that changes everything. Go check your rabbit's hay right now. Look honestly at their living space. Think about how you have been handling them and feeding them. Small changes made consistently add up to a completely different quality of life for your bunny. If this helped you, share it with someone you know who has a rabbit. It might matter more than you think. Drop a comment below. Which one of these surprised you the most? I genuinely want to know. Subscribe for more honest, research-backed rabbit care content, and I will see you in the next one.